We're in session in two cases. First case is cause number 327-670. Second case is cause number 327-866. Both cases are styled the state of Texas versus Sinclair Martha Smith. Your full name is Sinclair Martha Smith?
Yes.
Ms. Smith, would you please raise your right hand? Ms. Smith, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God?
Yes.
Ms. Smith, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Ms. Smith?
Good, thank you.
That's good. Ms. Smith, you're here represented by your attorney, Attorney Mel Shalander. Attorney Shalander, how are you doing?
Okay, Judge,
Attorney Shalander, do you waive a record in Ms. Smith cases?
we do.
Ms. Smith, in cause number 327-866, I have before me an information that alleges that on or about April 5th of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class B misdemeanor offense of possession of marijuana. Ms. Smith, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes.
And to this charge, Ms. Smith, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily? And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes.
Ms. Smith, I have before me a document that is titled the Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And on page 2 of this same document, Ms. Smith, are these your initials on the line that's next to box that's checked no contender, which means no contest?
Yes.
On the next page of the same document, Ms. Smith, there's a signature. Is this your signature or are these your initials?
That's my signature.
That's your signature? And it's above the line that is titled Defendant. And on the next document that's titled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document? And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
There are two boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Second box that's checked states that you are waiving your right to appeal, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Ms. Smith, I also have another document before me that is titled the Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes.
And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
Yes.
Now, Ms. Smith, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I've just mentioned, did your attorney Shalander, go over these documents with you?
Yes.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge? State, I have before me State's Exhibits Number 1, the Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. You'll also like to offer State's Exhibit Number 2, the probable cause affidavit.
Yes, Your Honor.
No objection.
No objection, State's Exhibit Number 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Shalander, you advised and counsel Ms. Smith. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, to my knowledge, yes.
Ms. Smith, your attorney, Mr. Shalander, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes.
Ms. Smith, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is that agreement?
The agreement is for 6 months deferred probation, a $300 fine, 30 hours community service, and that is to run concurrent with cause number 327-670.
Ms. Smith, state is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 6-month deferred adjudication probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs of $452, which comes to a total of $752. You'll also be required to pay a $100 fee to reimburse the crime lab. You will not be required to pay a probation fee in this case. You will be required to pay a urinalysis fee of $15. Is that right? A month, the installments is $15? That can't be right.
Not for 6 months, Judge. It couldn't be.
Yeah,
Probably 150.
it like it said 15.
That's what I was looking at too. I don't know where that came from because I put the fine.
You might have to try it again, something is wrong.
Okay.
But yeah, just,
I'm gonna try to retype it.
okay, we have to redo, okay. Hold on a minute. Thank you. Oh, it's the $100 for the crime lab, okay. Now, Ms. Smith, the state is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. During this 6-month deferred adjudication probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $300 plus court costs of $452, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $752. You'll also be required to pay or reimburse the crime lab $100 and pay a urinalysis fee of $15. Your total monthly installments in this case is $165 each month. Will you be able to pay the $165 each month? You will. You'll also be required to perform 30 hours of community service and you will also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of this probation. In this case, will run concurrent with cause number 327670. Ms. Smith, do you understand the state's offer? And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes,
And do you accept the state's offer?
yes,
Okay. Now, Ms. Smith, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. If, okay, if you successfully complete the probationary period, this case will be dismissed. It would not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. And you can talk to your attorney, Mr. Shalanda, about non-disclosure because he's quite competent in those matters. Your next case, Ms. Smith, is cause number 327670. And in this case, Ms. Smith, the information alleges that on or about February 28th of 2020, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of resisting arrest, search, transportation. Ms. Smith, do you understand what you've been charged with?
yes,
And to this charge, Ms. Smith, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
no,
No contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
yes,
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges? And, okay, now, Ms. Smith, I also have before me a document that is titled the misdemeanor plea admonishments, which is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. Do you recognize this document?
yes,
On page 2 of this same document, Ms. Smith, there's a set of initials on the line next to a box that's checked no contingent. Are these your initials? Did you
Yes.
place your initials here?
yes,
And on the next document, which is titled the next, on the same document, the next page, there's a signature above the line that is titled Defendant. Is that your signature?
yes,
And on the next document, which is titled Trial Court Certification, the Defendant's Right of Appeal, do you recognize this document?
yes,
Is that your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
yes,
There are two boxes that's checked at the top of this document. The first box checked states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you understand that?
yes,
The second box that's checked states that you're waiving your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
yes,
Ms. Smith, I also have a document before me that is titled the Discovery Certification. Do you recognize this document?
mhm,
Yeah, okay. And is this your signature above the line that's titled Defendant?
yes,
Now, Ms. Smith, prior to signing and initialing these documents that I've just mentioned, did your attorney, Mr. Shalander, go over these documents with you?
yes,
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
yes,
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
yes,
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, you also like to offer State's Exhibit Number 2, the probable cause affidavit?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections? No objections. State's Exhibits Number 1 and 2 are admitted. Mr. Smith, you've advised and counseled, not Mr. Smith, Mr. Sherlander, you've advised and counseled Ms. Smith. Is there any evidence that she is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
None to my knowledge, Judge.
And Ms. Smith, your attorney, Mr. Sherlander, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
yes,
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
yes,
Ms. Smith, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your pleas and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. And I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
The agreement is for 6 months deferred probation, a $750 fine, 80 hours of community service, and that is to run concurrent with cause number 327866.
Ms. Smith, state is offering that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. During the 6 months probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $750 plus court costs. And the total fine and court costs is $1,057. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee, in this case of $60 each month, and a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. Now, the total amount of monthly installments in this case is $290 each month. Ms. Smith, will you be able to pay the $290 each month? Okay. Do we have a affidavit? Can you just, could you check?
Not in this case, but in her other one, she has a magistrate's warning.
Let me see.
I'll print it out for you.
Okay.
Judge, she's she's not clear. Would you tell her again how much the court cost was? Separately from the fine, she's confused with it.
Well, the court costs in this case, the court costs like it's $307. Is that right? Hold on, let me see. I think the court cost is, because it's the total fine and court cost is $1,057. Out of that, $750 is fine, so the remainder would be about $307 would be court costs. Is that correct?
292.
$292.
Yes, because we started having to add the $15 time payment fee to deferred probation. So we have to subtract that from the fine as well, or the court, the total cost.
Okay, so it's gonna be $292.
That's what the court costs are. Let me
me see.
calculate it again just to be safe.
It looks like it's $307. I mean, but let me see.
She'll take the lower amount, Judge.
Hold on, let me see. It's let's see, 157 minus 750. Oops. I mean, not 157, it's 1,057. Minus.
And then you'll also have to subtract.
That's 307. I mean, I'm just looking, no, I'm just looking at what you have here. Oh, it says, pay costs, fees, and fines. Yeah, so like it's 307 plus 750. That's the total. So the total is 1,057 of fine and court costs, fine, fees, and costs over the 6 month period. So let me just read it to you again. 6 months deferred adjudicated probation. That's what the state is offering. A fine of $750 plus court costs. The court cost in this case is 307, which comes to a total fine and cost of $1,057. Now, the probation fee in this case is $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. Your total monthly installments come to $290 each month. And let me see, I had that right. 157 plus 60. Oops, that's 60 times. That's 60 times 5. That's 300. Okay. And 15 times. No. That's 360. 360. That's 30 and 90. Okay. Okay. 360. That's 90. Plus 1,000. 7 equals divided by 5. That's published. Now she's, let me see, okay. This is from 2020. It was December, okay. Which was about 11 months ago. She can feel nothing out on this. Yeah, they didn't even. Okay, let me do this here. Now, Miss Smith. I was looking at affidavit of indigency. Apparently, nothing was filled out on this here. And you were in jail back in December 17 of 2020. Now, I need to get some information from you. Are you currently working?
Yeah.
Yes. Now, what is your take-home pay per month? The total amount per month?
I would say about 400.
400 a month?
Yeah.
Now, are you married, single, divorced, separated?
I'm single.
Single, okay. Any children?
No.
Okay, no, so you don't get no child support. Now, are you receiving any type of government benefits such as Medicaid,
No.
SSI,
No.
SNAP,
No.
TANF?
No.
Do you live in public housing?
No.
Okay, so good night. So your total take home per month is now, do you have any assets, like do you own a home?
No.
Do you own a car?
No.
Okay. So let's just see. And now do you reside with do you pay rent or do you reside with family members?
I stay with him.
Family?
Yeah.
And are you paying any bills over there or not?
No.
No utilities, what about your food expenses? You have to pay for that?
Yeah.
And how much you average a month?
How much do I average a month?
A month, yeah.
Maybe like 200 flat.
200, that's fine. No transport. Now you have to pay for transportation?
Yeah.
And what do you average on that a month?
Like 90.
90 a month, okay. Oh, well. Do you have a cell phone bill?
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't pay.
Yeah, okay. Probation fees, medical trust, okay. Well, the court is gonna find that you're indigent. Now, what I'm gonna have to do on both of these cases, I'm gonna have to go back to that other one as well. Okay, so in this case, is that, 1,057. Now, the fine and court cost is going to be converted to 85 hours of community service. In this case, that's going to be added to the community service that you're required to pay. It's going to be added to the 80 other community service hours. So that's 165 hours of community service. Now, the probation fees in this case is going to be reduced to the minimum of 25 hours. Okay, so now she's going to have to recalculate the figures. Now, I think the probation office, when they see that you're finding fees of $1,057 converted to $85 of community service added to the 80 hours community service, they'll be able to make that conversion, which means that you will not be required to pay the $290 per month. So, and then, this is easy to figure out. Let's do this here. So, find a court cost, so that'd be $25 plus $25 plus 15. Is that it? Yeah. Oh, let me see, $25 plus the, so it looks like you're gonna be paying about $40 a month on this case. That's the probation fee of $25 plus the urinalysis fee of $15. And the fine and the court cost in this case is gonna be converted to 85 hours of community service. Okay, now do you understand the state's offer and the conversions that has been made? Now this is being converted pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. Because the court is finding that you are indigent. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, in addition to your monthly installments, you will also be required to perform 80 hours of regular community service. A total of community service will be 165 hours. 85 that was converted from fines and court costs, plus the 80 of community service that you have agreed to. You will also be required to perform or to adhere to the standard terms and conditions of your probation. In this case, clause number 327866 will run concurrent with this current case. Now, Ms. Smith, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yeah.
Okay, and do you accept the state's offer?
Yes.
Okay. Now, let me see that previous case that we had.
Which one? Are you gonna?
I gotta go back and redo that too. Let me see. Let's
I
see.
think is that the one you're looking?
Let's see. Yes. Yeah, this is under 6. Okay. I have court costs. Oh, that's right. I got that in there. Okay. Yeah. She don't have probation fees in this one. She only have fine and costs of $752. Now, in clause number 327866, the previous case that you pled no contest in, the state had offered offered that you serve 6 months deferred adjudicated probation, fine of $300 plus court costs of $452, which comes to total fine and court costs of $752. That fine and court cost is going to be converted to 60 hours of community service in that case, because the court is finding that you're indigent, and pursuant to Article 42.15, your fine and court costs is converted to 60 hours of community service. So what that will basically mean is that the 60 hours will be added to the 30 hours of community service.
Judge, she's concerned that with that much community service over a 6-month period, it's almost a full-time job. I think she's asking if you could just leave the first one alone.
Okay,
And she can pay that money.
Okay.
But she just can't do an extra.
okay,
It's already going to be, I think, 30 plus 160 is 195 hours of community service over 6 months, which is 30 hours a week, I think, or 30 hours a month.
mhm,
37 hours a month. That's
Like-
going to be a stretch, I think, is what I'm hearing.
7 hours a week, I guess, yeah. 1 hour a day.
So she can afford to pay the fine and costs on the first
Yeah.
case, and she'd rather do that, and then,
Okay, so we'll leave it, okay. All right. So that one will stay in, so, you understand that, I think, the state's offers in both cases, you stated on the record that, you accepted, that they were fair and just, and that you accepted state's offer. And then the court, have, followed the plea bargaining agreements that you have entered into with the state. Now, in both cases, if you successfully complete the probationary period, these cases will be dismissed, will not result in a conviction on your record, and you may qualify for non-disclosure. And you can talk to your attorney about non-disclosure because he's quite competent in these matters. Now, the court is deferring a finding of guilt and placing you on probation for 6 months, according to the plea bargain agreement that you have reached with the state and with the waivers pursuant to Article 42.15 of the Texas Code of Criminal Procedure. And you're in the second case, which is cause number 327-670. Okay. Now, Ms. Smith, please stand on the X next to your attorney and follow the directions of our court clerk. Once you finish following those directions, you'll be free to go and you have a blessed day.
Thank you.
And Mr. Sherlander, you'll be free to go as well and you have a blessed day.
I just had to retype that other one because I threw it out.
Now, which one? Oh,
I thought we were gonna do.
yeah, okay. I still have, okay. You had to redo it?
Yeah, I threw it away. I didn't want
I got the paper one here, I think. Right here. I kept it. Okay. And this will conclude the arraignment docket and calls in County Court at London to Jefferson County, Texas, Judge Terrence L. Holmes presiding.